Hello and welcome. My name is Hydro Kimono, and just a few minutes ago, right before I started recording this, they found Christopher Dorner's body. For those of you who aren't really familiar with this story, he was an LAPD officer who basically got his whole life taken away from him and made this hit list of a bunch of people that he was planning on killing and posting it online. And then went and killed one of the officers, I think his commanding officer's daughter and fiance, and then killed another officer in a shootout, and then earlier today shot another officer and then killed another one during yet another shootout in Big Bear. So this is a crazy, crazy story. Lots of different things going on, and everybody has their own opinion. You go on the internet, you've got all kinds of people who support Christopher Dorner, and you have a lot of people who think that he should have died. My personal opinions aside, I'm not going to voice my opinions per se, because there's probably some people that might agree with me, other people that wouldn't, and I don't want to get involved in any kind of huge debate over that, because everybody's an individual and everybody's opinion matters and everybody's own opinion is correct, right? So, but yeah, I definitely can't pretend to know what was going on in that guy's head. I've definitely never been in that kind of situation. I think everybody's been in a situation where they feel like things were taken away from them unjustly and that they were treated unfair, and a lot of times maybe it's at a job with a boss that clearly doesn't like them or whatever, but most people are not driven to murder people, especially not to make a hit list of people that they're going to take out who may have been involved in that, and certainly don't go take it out on family members who had nothing to do with it. Even the first cop that got killed was actually a Riverside cop who had nothing to do with LAPD. So these are all, you add all this stuff up and your immediate response is, this is a really, really bad guy. Now, like I said, I have no idea what was going on in that guy's head. He maybe justified it or something like that, and I definitely don't condone anything that he did. All I can say is that I've never been in such a situation, so I don't know how one would react. I would think that most sane people would, of course you're going to be crushed, you're going to be depressed, you're going to be angry, but you got to rise above it and keep moving on, as hard as that is. And I'm sure in his position it seemed impossible and he felt like he had no way out, and maybe he was just at the end of his rope and thought, this is what I'm going to do before I die, which is exactly what happened. He eluded the police and the FBI for 6 days, which is a huge feat in itself. Most people can't elude that many law enforcement officers for that long, especially when the FBI is involved. They've got so many ways to find you. And he did it for 6 days, and he was in the Navy, trained sniper, and then he was obviously LAPD, and even said that he was going to use all the tactics that he was trained with to get away from these guys, and that's just what he did. And then ended up in Big Bear, where he allegedly, and I don't know if they've actually proven it yet, broke into a house and tied a couple of girls up because he was planning on stealing their car, and then they alleged, again, I'm not sure that any of this was proven, that it was actually him, carjacked somebody. Now, none of those people were hurt. There are plenty of other people who were involved in this, and none of them were hurt. So the fact is, he didn't hurt all these other people that he could have easily overpowered and killed. So it's such a confusing story. What really happened? It's like the girl and her fiance, who were, she was the daughter of one of the LAPD cops. Those two were dead, but then nobody else who were basically innocent bystanders got harmed by him. So it's a very interesting, very complex, and very, very sad situation for everybody. He then held himself up in a cabin where they believed that he had lots of weapons and lots of rounds, and they ended up putting, I think it was the FBI or maybe the PD for up in Big Bear, San Bernardino PD, I believe it was. It's all happening in Southern California, by the way. Tear gas through the windows, and then that caused a fire. and they said they heard a shot and figured that that was him putting a bullet in his own head. And they waited and waited, and then finally the fire department authorized everybody to go in, and they discovered his body. So very, very sad, and I think that if most people had a wish, that it would be they could rewind it and everything would work out okay for everybody. But unfortunately, that's not what happened. He just snapped, and I think that he made a lot of mistakes. And I guess, yeah, I said I wasn't going to get into my opinion. I'm not really going to. I think that everybody can agree that killing innocent bystanders, innocent people, is definitely wrong. And there are other ways to handle everything. So I guess I kind of got into my opinion. So anyway, a little bit. Anyway, I'm not going to go too deep into what I really think. But I definitely, just from the mental standpoint, I feel really sorry for the guy. I think that things just went really bad for him, and I wish that things would have worked out a little bit better. That's all I can really say. I wish that everybody was still alive, and that everybody could wake up tomorrow and go do their thing, and everything would be okay. But unfortunately, that's not going to happen. This is a very, very strange... There's murders out here all the time, but it's usually pretty cut and dry. One person shoots another person, and that's it. This, you have multiple people dying, and then somebody killing themselves while somebody else's cabin is burning down. So imagine being those people too. It's like you own this cabin, and then all of a sudden somebody is in there with cops surrounding the place in this shootout, and then all of a sudden your house is on fire, and ammunition is burning up and blowing up all over the place, and then you've got somebody dead in your house. So I really feel for them too. Anyway, so that's the news. Very, very sad, very tragic story that has come to an end. Anyway, just wanted to let everybody kind of know what was going on, and that it's a very sad, sad time, and personally I wish none of it had ever happened. Anyway, let me know what you guys think. You know, your comments on what happened. Try not to be too negative, and I will talk to you later. Have a good night.